Hi, it's been a while. You're like, Wendy, we're seeing you on camera. What's that about? And if you see, I'm not on fire. There's smoke coming up. I'm actually sending up smoke just based on the conversation today and how important the conversation is for me personally and professionally, but also some of the questions that have been asked. I'm going to try to go through all of that today. So let me set this aside just a second. It's a little bit smoky. Okay. When I'm trying to talk, so it's not in my throat. How are you? It's been a long time. One of the things you may not know is that it's difficult. It can be difficult to put up the technology. We tried to record something before and we couldn't upload it. So I'm hoping this is going to work and come through for all of you in regards to the Healy and the Mag Healy. So let me show you. It's my favorite little spaceship and flying saucer. Because people have had questions. I think that the Healy website is confusing and we have a time limit. It's time sensitive, and I apologize. I'm doing the best I can to get things up and out to you. I found out on the 15th or 16th that they have an incredible special where right now the Pro is 60% off. It's normally $4,500. Right now it's $1,600. That is nuts and crackers good. So if there was ever a time and they have payment plans, I would jump on this and I'll talk more about that. And then for the Mag Healy, for those of you who are new, I don't know much about it, the little flying saucer and smoke detector guy. My new favorite, even though I'm not cheating on Healy, my new favorite. And it has, right now, if you purchase this, you get a Resonance Plus for free. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. If you're unclear, you're on the fence, and some of you are trying to figure out what's going to work best for you. Please don't wait till the last minute. The special goes till tomorrow. I want to say 3 or 4 o'clock Mountain Time. I'm not great on time zones. So please reach out. And if you would like to experience the frequency, I'm happy to help deliver some to you before you purchase so you can get a sense of which one to buy. If it were up to me, I would have you get this if you have a business. If you're in a family and you want to work on the atmosphere and the relationship within the family and dynamic prosperity, this has 84 programs in 4 different categories. I was in an organic restaurant the other day and their food was exquisite, but the water tasted like shiz. I just set it on top of the water. It more than restructures water. Okay. It amplifies and affects atmosphere in a way that this doesn't. And I'll talk more about that. So if you can swing it, you're working on prosperity, you're working on the atmosphere of your business or amplifying the relationships that you have. You're going to get, if you purchase it, you're going to get this as a free gift, which is, I think, around $2,700. So that is a no-brainer. They do have payment plans available. If you want to know specific to you, there's going to be too much information for me to load it in that email because I try to keep them simple for you. Just reach out. Healy's been in my world for over 3 years now, and I don't know how I lived without it. I'm not a big title person, but basically people have called me the healer to the healers, and I've helped a lot of people. And I'm not niche because people come to me for different things. They come to me for business. They come to me for relationships with self or other. They come to me for health and wellness. They come to me for, spiritual, different spiritual things, and or all of the above. And so it's tricky for me to say that the Healy or who I am is for one thing. The reason why I'm coming to you now is because the special is going to end tomorrow, and I'm doing the best I can to get you information and kind of bridge gaps to help you make a decision. The most important thing for me to say, when you reach out to me, I want you to do what is best for you, because a true healer will, number one, always lead you back to self. I don't know more for you than you know for yourself. And I'm part of an ethical coaching community where I want you to choose what works for you, if at all. And I'm just going to help you figure out what that is. So if you want to have a private conversation, reach out and we can figure it out either way. I don't know about you, but it's passing up a 60% off sale. That's huge. Or getting this device and then this one for free is nuts and crackers. And I will show you how to work with it in your personal situation and world. It's one of the things that I'm known for. I shared in the audio where people are like, whoa, how do you know what you know? Well, if you take all of the indigenous training, all of my pre-med and the neurotransmitters and hormones and all of the wellness training that I have and the neuroplasticity, and you put it all together, and then you put the Healy on top of that, it's really remarkable. I actually believe that people don't know what this actually is. And I predicted there were a lot of big healers that were going to take this on, and we're seeing more about that. Healy came into my world 3 years ago, a little bit over 3 years ago, at a time where I really needed it. And I'll talk about that in a second. For the purposes of the Healy and the sale, right now I'm wanting coherence for all of us. So I'm delivering frequency. You could call it frequency therapy or frequency medicine. Whenever I use those two words, though, I have to legally say I cannot diagnose, treat, or prescribe, because those words are owned by a certain system that I'm not allowed to work with. The Healy itself has 144 different programs and subcategories, which sounds like a lot. Don't freak out. I've got you. Okay. I have a group, put you in there if you're open to it, and I'll show you how to work with this specifically to your situations or what you want to use it for. This is my go-to tool for anything and everything, and I don't know what I would do without it, especially the last couple of years. And every person that I've talked to, I've probably helped 40 or 50 people place them, maybe more. Every single person, for the most part, says, I don't know what I would do without it. I have 1 or 2 people who haven't fully taken it on because they resist like getting started with things, which, you know, we all have that. So let me help you with that part of it. This is a bioresonance tool that scans your frequency every 10 seconds and delivers unique to you in that 10 seconds what your body requires. So it is my go-to for a medicine cabinet, for spiritual support, meaning like I have people that come to me for trust, or they come to me where they feel stuck or blocked, or they have taken on a bunch of energies from planetary, or they just don't quite know how to move forward and they don't feel like themselves. Whatever that is, this will support you. It has the bioresonance, which will scan your field and deliver. It has an aura scan, which I'll show you how to do. It's so cool, because remember that your aura is the perfume that goes out into the world and comes back to you. So if you're not physically actualizing or manifesting what you're asking for, you can utilize this. It also has its own coaching app. It doesn't necessarily replace me or you. If you're someone who has invested a lot in coaching programs, or not sure what to invest in, and you really want to work within yourself and be empowered, Healy, because you can go to it and work directly with the tool, and I will show you. So I'll kind of be like in your in your back pocket and on your side, kind of in the background, helping you navigate. That's one of the bonuses that comes with it. And believe it or not, sounds obnoxious, but I have friends and clients who paid me $5,000 a month plus bought the Healy just to do that part, because of my knowledge and my background and the way that I can deliver it that is unique and personal to your energy and field. Now you can figure it out all on your own. It's not, super difficult. It does have one button on there. And if I can figure it out, and I'm not really a technology person, I promise you can too. So this also comes with microcurrent, and microcurrent is the thing that recharges our battery at minimum, our chi, our life force, and also helps recharge our batteries to give us life again in a lot of different ways if you've been depleted or drained. So there's lots of different ways you can use this on top of a coaching app, which I just mentioned, where you can actually put in a statement, and I can help you with that. And you can coach yourself in your bioresonance, in your frequency, and in your field. And it's, I would say, more cost effective to purchase the device and let me help you in the background than perhaps coaching with me personally, which I rarely do in that way anymore. And I'll explain why I'm beginning to open that up in a little bit in certain ways. But I would say get the Healy or get your Mag Healy. And then get the Resonance Plus for free. If I'm still not making myself clear, which is possible, please reach out. It's not a big deal. I don't have a point of view whether you get it or not, or purchase it or not. It's whatever is going to work for you. This just happens to work for me and a lot of other people. There's also a big community that's connected to it. that will help you, and they are not connected to any monetary gain from that, if that's your concern. Now, with that said, I have a lot of people that I have helped facilitate and coach in that world, because people are looking for additional revenue streams, right? And if that's part of it for you, and that's something you want to do as an affiliate or whatever to help pay for your device, or because you've always heard me say, do not have your eggs in one basket. And I'm going to tell a story here in a minute of why that's relevant for me personally, and then perhaps for you, and you may already know that. I've helped a lot of people create and develop revenue streams, especially as women, because it's not smart, especially now with how things are and going forward. And now's the time. This week is rocking and popping in terms of energies, and going forward in this month and in future, to manifest, to actualize, and I can help you with that if that's something that you want to do, because people do come to me for that. So, okay, here we go. Back before, when I consulted for the company, it was the biggest whole food supplement company in the world, based on my background and my knowledge. I had 5,000 doctors and 5,000 accounts of hospitals, schools, pharmacy, and I used to teach biochemical nutrition. When I decided to leave that, because it wasn't hands-on, I was a lot on the phone, and I wasn't a one-on-one or in groups of people in person. Even though I had those 5,000 accounts, I wanted to be hands-on again, because most of the ways that I used to work was a word of mouth referral or hands-on, hands-off. So when word got out that I was leaving, I had a couple of companies reach out to me and say, we will give you a blank check. You can write your own salary if you come and work for our company. And those companies were product. They were a technology or a device. With love and respect, I politely declined, because until Healy came along, there is and was nothing that I would recommend and put my name behind as an integrity, and what it could do for not only for myself, if required, which it has been the last couple of years when you hear my story or part of it, and then also for my clients and for the planet. I have a responsibility for my elders and the land that I walk on and the gifts that I've been given. And it is very important to me to give back and to serve and to honor those gifts and capacities that were given to me, and to walk in a way, we call it walking the red road, in a way that is authentic and has integrity. And so I don't refer or recommend anything that I have not used myself and or have not worked with for some time. So I politely declined those and moved on with my life. And until Healy came in, it came in at a time where I really, really, really needed it. I don't know how much we'll get to in terms of the entire story, but maybe I'll share bits and parts. I don't know what you want to hear. You can always reply back to the email, and I'm happy. And then I've got something at the end too that I'm going to give to you, just so I don't forget. Okay. So I had the awareness to put my business online over 3 years ago. Didn't want to do it, resisted it, because I was hands-on word of mouth referral only. And it was a big job to undertake in terms of the infrastructure. I happened to be on Facebook one day. I clicked on a link, and there was a coach that was talking about helping and the energy. I impulsively just said yes, and I jumped into it, which is why I don't recommend impulsive energies. And I will help you, and I want what's best for you. I'm not trying to sell you something. It doesn't work in the energies, and I've learned that, and I think we all have, over time. And so sometimes we invest in things, and we learn the easy way, or maybe people call it the hard way, that sometimes we have to invest in things to know not to do that again. So I invested in the coaching programs, and it helped me until it didn't, for a couple ways. Number one, I don't niche. I'm not in a niche, because people come to me for at least 5 different things, because that's life. That's us being human and the human condition, and have me expand and look at the energies of different things. So trying to niche down to one thing, for me, it burned me out. Number 2, or 57, trying to live somebody else's idea of what it's supposed to look like, not a great idea. And over 3 years ago, the reason I haven't spoken about it is I've lost most of my family that I was close with, and that I loved and cared about many, many years ago. And I had an elder and a mentor who one of several who in that time got sick, and it was their exit point on the planet. And I had a friend who had a Healy at the time. It had just launched in the US over 3 years ago. She goes, why don't we try it? I'm like, I'm up for anything. Because when you're, when you're in your emotion and you're down and you're in grief and you're having a hard time personally, there's a lot of energies and frequencies in that level that aren't ideal. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But allowing someone to step in and help you and surrender to that part, even if you're me or whoever, is a really good idea. And I learned the hard way in some ways, and watching what's gone on in the last couple of years, especially. So she came over, and she also traveled to Turkey and worked with the Healy with this particular elder. And what it did is it helped us in so many ways, and one of them being the environment and also quality of life. And I'll be forever grateful to that friend, because the quality of life that it gave us, what it allowed me to do is I had my business. It was full. I was starting a waiting list. I was at max capacity for things in that business of the way that I had designed it with these coaching programs. And I also had my own personal things going on at that time. And so Healy came in to really help me so that I could still work and facilitate people and show up for people 100% in that time period until I could complete my contracts. Well, another thing that happened during that time was that a person came in, her friends were coaching with me, and she begged to coach with me. And I didn't have space for her. I created space. And long story short, within that time period of everything happening at once, the person did not pay their bill. Okay. And I have a solid business contract. And so when that happened, you have to understand that the elders, my medicine, the things that are given to me are very important. And in Native American medicine, you just do not mess around with money. And it's really important to honor your agreements. And so the person didn't pay their bills. That's about as far as I will go. It had nothing to do with COVID. This is a 7-figure earner person and multiple 6-figure earner. And I was a part of a coaching group, a group of people, and they didn't pay their bills. That is a big statement. It is not gossip. It is the truth of what I lived. I never pursued anything with them or defended it. She created a lot of drama. And, I never went there because to defend myself or that process. You have to think about what I know about people in the background. And it wasn't the right thing to do to speak up about it, because then it makes me like the other person, which is why this is not going to turn into gossip or triangulation, because I believe that it is never too late to do the right thing, and nothing ever goes unheard of by spirit. Okay. It's why the words that we speak, it's why I haven't spoken about it. But at a time when things were really rough for me and I had people transitioning out of my life, my elder, who was the only living thing left on the planet, who unconditionally loved me and knew me for a long time, all of that was going on at once. So what ended up happening is it stressed my team out, because they knew how much I had helped this person. All we had was love bombs and notes and all of that from people. And then for them to turn around and to not follow through, not good energy. Okay. So I completed my contracts. I took time off to step back and say, okay, how am I going to do this? I need to take time off to figure out what's going to work for me, because I'm not going to live a niche or do someone else's coaching program. And then if people aren't going to honor their agreements with me, and I have a responsibility to the elders and the gifts that are given to me, how are we doing this? So recently, I have come back in a different way, doing what I love. And the reason is I've had so many elders, friends, mentors, teachers, sisters who said to me, you have to be willing to come back. You have to be willing to make the impact. You have so many gifts and tools, and your unique genius, if you will, to impact the world and the planet. Please come back. Please share about Healy. Please share about the things that you love and help other people and serve. So that's why you've seen an influx of things coming into your email box. You've seen this video now. And I had to find a way to do the F word, which is forgiveness, in a way for people and choices in the last couple of years. We all have, right? We've all gone through our own personal things and professional and otherwise. And so I don't share with what I share with you lightly. It isn't something I speak about. I tend to be a very private person, and it's one-sided simply because I don't know what to share and what capacity, because it's about you and you're coming to me for help. And I want to know what's going on with you. Like, I already know what's going on in my world, in my head, but it's not intended to be one-sided. And it's not intended for me to share this part of the story with you in a disrespectful way to that person or persons. It's to simply tell you that I don't coach the way that I did anymore. And people have to pay in full if they've never worked with me before. And so I'm trying to find different ways that we can work together, so that, imagine if my revenue was solely based as a single woman and a provider on myself by that person paying their bill. What would I have done when a person decides to not honor their agreement? This is why I'm such a big proponent of all of you having multiple revenue streams. I don't care how it's done. I'll help you figure it out if you don't know what that is yet. Okay. I'm a big proponent because you never want to have your eggs in one basket. And even if you have a solid legal business contract, unless you go to the nth degree to chase people, it's just not the energy. It stressed my team out. They become a collections thing, that we're getting nasty messages, like all that stuff. It's just nonsense. And I will not participate. That is energy in the wrong direction for me. Have I invested things that I didn't necessarily agree with the person and the choices or whatever that was? Yes, I still paid the bill to the person because that's my authenticity and my integrity. So all of that to say, the way that I facilitate, the way that I coach now is very different for the reasons of the last couple of years. And then for my big dreams and vision for the land, for the ancestors, because we are our ancestors' greatest dream. And I'm telling you, the Healy is beyond anything I've ever seen or worked with. And if you want something that you can do 24/7, that way you don't have to keep going to another person, which is not wrong. You invest in yourself and you invest in the technology. The device is upgraded to your advantage and you can use it. And I can show you how to work with it. I don't love the term biohacking, but I can show you how to work with it with you personally and what's going on in your world. And that's what a lot of the people in the 111 collective, or that already have the Healy or have been doing the boxes, I'll give them frequencies and I'll deliver that. So I know this is long. Thank you for hanging in there. You know, there's so much more to this story because I am human too. And I know you know that because I know you're savvy and smart enough to have watched the last couple of years and seen things or heard things. I will not engage in that part of it. It is not, because your energy and your words and the way you speak matters. And we're going to focus on moving forward. I'm just saying to you to share a little bit about my past history, that it has not been the easiest time for me either. And I've helped a lot of people through that time as well. And I will continue to serve and make an impact the way that I can. So if you're interested in the Healys or the Mag Healys, if I didn't explain it or answer your particular question, doing the best I can to wing it without my notes. Even if I write my notes, I'm not saying I could read my handwriting. We're going to be doing 2 calls this weekend, or actually this Friday and then this Saturday, so that you can come on. They're 30-minute hangouts or connect points with me, and you can ask your questions related either to frequency or business or something that's going on in your world that's personal to you. Just know that we'll record it and it'll be, you know, sent out to everyone who's interested in receiving it. So you can sign up for the link for Friday or Saturday, whatever time works for you. And then if privately, if you want to reach out, just hit reply to this email, reach out to me or DM me on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, we'll put, I think the hashtag is in there for my handle. Look at me talking all Instagram and technology. And then I will help you as best I can what is specific to you. Thank you for your time and energy. And yeah, Koke, which means beyond thank you in my native language, one of my native languages. Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.